Yeah, so my name's Brendan. I've been working at CURA MCCGC for close to 3 years now as what's known as an NDIS support coordinator. Yeah, so my clients are individuals or family members of individuals that have been approved for NDIS funding, and that stands for National Disability Insurance Scheme. It's designed to provide financial support for these individuals to connect to community services, to enable them to live, fulfilling lives from a day-to-day perspective, but also to try to achieve some goals that they might dream about, but haven't yet been able to achieve through lack of support. And again, these are for people that are living with physical and intellectual disabilities or mental health conditions. These people primarily are from cultures outside of Australia originally, and obviously have been approved NDIS funding. It's a really common issue that I witness in my role, and it's families that are confused around how to properly spend the NDIS funding once they've been approved. There is certainly a bit of a gap in that space around helping people to utilise the money, and then also who to contact and what's available in the community. For someone or family members to be speaking with English as their second language is an extra very clear barrier and challenge for them to be able to properly utilise their NDIS funding. So the beauty of an NDIS support coordinator is that we have the capacity to be able to not only communicate with these individuals or family members over the phone or through email or SMS, but we can actually come out and visit the families at their home if they like, or they can come to us, and communication is ongoing. It's that little conduit between someone receiving their NDIS funding and going through the sometimes lengthy process of applying for the NDIS funding, and then actually connecting to the services within the community in a long-term perspective. So an example of one individual is a gentleman that originally from Egypt, and he's now aged in his 60s. He's been living in Australia for a little under 20 years now. He unfortunately acquired a brain injury, which then led on to multiple mental health conditions as well as some physical health conditions that significantly changed his life, resulted in him living at home alone and trying to deal with these issues. He was fortunately approved for NDIS funding. He's now been with us for a little over 2 years now, and some of the things that I as an NDIS support coordinator have been able to help him with is connecting to like a support worker, which comes out multiple times a week, supports him to attend the gym, which he goes to twice a week, transports him to his traditional drumming class on a Sunday afternoon. He helps him transports him to appointments and assists him with confusing documentation, food shopping, showering. He also now has a cleaner that comes in once a week to help clean his home. He receives food deliveries once a week. There's a range of benefits, and he's a good example of properly utilising some of the many benefits that are available. And I think the cherry on the cake for this particular gentleman is I was also able to support him to, for the first time in 15 years, travel back to Egypt for a 3-month holiday to visit family and friends that he hasn't seen for the better part of 15 years. So so I think the most beneficial aspect of an NDIS support coordinator like myself is I can help individuals and families and carers of individuals living with disability or mental health conditions to properly understand what can be quite a confusing space when someone is approved NDIS funding. It's a large landscape with many different processes, and for somebody that is living with English as their second language on top of that as well, I can really assist them to feel comfortable about understanding what the NDIS means for them. Yeah, so what I love about being an NDIS support coordinator at CURA and MCCGC is being able to witness the positive outcomes and also, I guess, relief in people's comfort levels and understanding around their NDIS funding when they realise the multitude of opportunities that become available to them once I've spoken to them, whether it be a one-off visit to their home and then followed up by ongoing phone communication, or whether it's monthly visits to the families or individuals, because essentially I understand that it can be a confusing space, it can be exciting but also anxiety provoking for some when they feel like they've gotten this far and they've been approved funding, yet they're a little bit confused around how to unpack that funding and really get some tangible positive outcomes from the funding and live an enjoyable and fulfilling life.